Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly horoscopes from the 25th of September right up until the 2nd of October. Okay, so there's a lot going on this week. We're going to start the week on the 25th of September. There will be a new moon in Virgo. So it's a time when logic and practicality take central stage. We are still in the phase of the autumn equinox, and I told you last week it's all about letting go, telling us to reevaluate our current goals and track our progress, taking time out to make goals for the next 3 months. And if we haven't been making as much progress on our current goals, to just give the last 3 months of the year that final big push, taking slow and steady steps day in, day out, having some rest days to reach the goal. New moon energy is all about new beginnings, even if it's just new ways of thinking about and doing things. Mutable and earth energy are strongest at the time of this new moon, reminding us to be realistic but flexible in our approach to taking care of our logical, intuitive, emotional and sensual needs. Allowing ourselves to be more empathetic to our own and other people's needs, avoiding being devious, overly materialistic, inconsistent and deceptive. Seeking advice from those who are older and wiser, from ancient books or online resources, which may give you penetrating insight into current problems. Forgiving yourself of past mistakes, because you cannot change the past, but you can create a better future by taking those daily steps towards your goals. So, the moon enters Virgo at 6:52 at the time, the day of this new moon. People, when the moon's in Virgo in the constellation, because remember I do constellational astrology, will focus more on health issues and also business matters, and people will be more methodological, logical, paying attention to details, being more analytical in their approach to work. Despite the suffering, some people may ignore illnesses or any other emotional problems to concentrate on work. Others may want things cleaner than usual. The best use of the moon in Virgo is to do a complete well-being check of your mind. How's your emotional health? How's your mental health? Your spiritual health? Your body? Are you managing any health conditions you have correctly? How can you improve your exercise or what you eat? And your soul, as in your spirituality and any other religious or any other things you may follow. Also, when the moon's in Virgo, it's a time that deep research can be done, or to learn anything that will help you improve your personal hygiene, your nutrition and your productivity at work. You can make economic decisions when buying clothing, household, health and food items. The Virgo vibration can make you more aware of the effect of your mind on your body and vice versa. Now is a good time if you've been considering moving up in your career, educationally, or starting or following through on business plans. Supporting those who need your assistance or accepting help from others is also a perfect use of this energy. When the moon is in the constellation of Virgo, people can become more self-righteous and pickier, thinking they know the right way to do things, which can cause tension in relationships. There is also a chance that some of you may become less organised, which can cause issues in all areas of your life. For you gardeners out there, the next few days are an excellent period to plant crops, prepare for excellent harvest by manipulating your crops, training vines, flowers, eliminating parasites and weeds, doing everything you can to look after your garden, look after your land, and make sure whatever you are investing your time in gives you a good final yield. So yeah. New moon today as well, and there's a lot going on at the time of this new moon. The sun and the moon are both conjunct Mercury, so there's a danger that some people may think they're superior to others due to their intellectual understanding. And as I said earlier, there's a thing where the mind will influence emotions and your emotions will affect your mind. So it's best today and over the next 2 weeks to choose your thought and actions wisely. In general, there's a strong need to talk about things less. Sometimes we just go on and on and on. Kind of like I'm doing now, but listen to people more instead of just talking. Listen, because over talking and not listening can cause problems in relationships. People can fail to see other people's point of view and try and dominate others. But the positive use of this energy is using your subconscious mind, your emotions, and your conscious mind logic, giving them a chance to work together instead of making your logic being influenced by your emotions and your emotions being influenced by your logic. Make them both work together. Listen to the needs of your emotions, listen to the needs of your consciousness, your logic, and try and meet them and others in halfway. So using the strength of the sun and the moon, emotions and logic being conjunct basically, is giving you the ability to show psychological and communicative strength. So this energy is perfect for finishing or starting any project that involves writing, giving motivational speeches or any other communication work. Whatever you focus your action and thoughts on will be successful. The sun and moon also conjuncts Venus at the time of this new moon, allowing you to remain calm and have good manners. So any negative effects of the sun conjunct and the moon conjunct Mercury can be counteracted with the sun and moon conjuncting Venus. And Venus conjunct the sun and moon is supporting all efforts of creativity, writing, drawing, appreciating art or music, or using your own creativity in any other way and just expressing yourself. Although it is important to not become idealistic and to be realistic about what you can achieve right now, make solid plans to achieve your goals. So yeah, the sun and the moon's conjunction to Venus, it heightens your emotions, making it a perfect time to tell those who you care about how you are feeling, expressing your affection. And going back to the moon in Virgo and people being emotionally colder, this Venus conjunction is allowing you to, we've got to focus on work, but we also have to make those who are important to us to know that they are and make some time for them, because one of the biggest regrets on deathbed is not telling people how you feel, not living life to the fullest, and typically that involves being too focused in your career and neglecting romance and friendships and other things in yourself. So yeah, the sun and moon also opposes Jupiter, supporting that taking a risk on saying what you mean or going for that promotion or focusing on your educational or creative advancement can pay off. This energy allows for optimism, working with the positive effects of the sun and moon conjunct Mercury energy, although it's another warning to not get overly enthusiastic and to focus on the small details, because there is a risk of negligence, restlessness and people being overconfident and careless, which can lead to costly mistakes. So the big ideas, you want to maybe improve your finances, but what will be the smaller actions that will get you there, which would be repetition, working steadily towards your goals. So as long as you take time out to think about and make allowances for the essential things, the small details in any plan, anything started under the new moon is well aspected to be a success in the long run if you're prepared to take the daily action to make your dreams and your ambitions reality. The sun and the moon also make a Sesquiquadrate to Uranus and Saturn at the time of the new moon, warning you again that conflicts over opinions are possible. So you must avoid conflict or allow others to express their opinions while expressing your views assertively yet peacefully, because no one's telling you to let other people walk over you and just be a yes person, but just try and find some middle ground. So that's the key. I've said that a few times. Things can be highly unpredictable and sudden changes in thoughts and plans can cause setbacks. It's best to have a plan B as well as a plan A and C. However, both these transits support innovation and artistic expression, making it a perfect time for all content creators and other creatives. This is a time for high emotional sensitivity and excitability. People may crave more adventure and do all they can to avoid boredom, doing things on purpose to get a reaction and insult others. Relationships may suffer, but the effects of the sun and moon conjunct Venus, as I said, can counteract the negative of the sun and Mercury opposing Jupiter and the sun and moon conjunct Mercury, if you use your willpower and if you want things to work, So the sun and moon are also making a trine to Pluto. So Pluto is all about transformation, death and rebirth, letting go of the old to bring in the new. So this energy can bring you insight into your own and other people's motivations, self-destructive thoughts and behaviours and addictions, helping you assess situations more positively and proficiently. Collectively, they can be subtle shifts in power, allowing for collective and individual regeneration that's beneficial to the whole. They say if you want to change the world, change yourself first. Another indicator that if you engage your determination also, you can become intensely productive right now. The ongoing Mars Trine Saturn transit supports the grounding, the drive and the endurance and the discipline to get what you need to be done. So yeah, it's really up to you where you put your energies at the time of the new moon. You can choose to be destructive or constructive, regenerative or just conflicted. Mars is also starting to make trine square to Neptune, so there's a chance that some of you may escape into intoxicating substances or other distractions such as excessive porn watching or hookups, making you physically, emotionally and spiritually drained. Still, this energy is just starting to get conjunct, so some of you may be affected by that. But so just be wary of that, and yeah, you can always run from our problems, and sometimes it's easy. It's not easy letting go and confronting and doing the things that we need to do, especially when we've been programmed to avoid, and there's so many conflicting arguments, and the economy's going down, and energy bill crisis in Britain. There's just so much things to worry about. So I get it, but just do your best to try and just think positive or do something positive, even though it is really dark and there's a lot of conflict going on. But the energies of the Sun and Moon conjunct Mercury and trine Pluto and Mars trine Saturn can counteract the effects of Mars square Neptune, which is pulling you to escape from your problems and just go down and down. The only thing that we can do in these darkest times is just try and make steps and do the best we can to manage with the money that we've got now, the time that we've got now, but also appreciating the things that we do have in our life, although that can be hard, spending time with loved ones and talking to those closest to us. And if you are experiencing dark emotions and you can't talk to your friends and family in the UK, we've got the Samaritans, and just try and reach out to someone, because sometimes, our problems, although it can be very, very hard and bad, and there's always someone who you can turn to, even though it may seem dark and dark night of the soul right now and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's the new moon, and that's the horoscope for the 25th of September. On the 26th of September, Mercury makes a conjunction with Venus, allowing for people to become more nonchalant, light-hearted, easygoing, wanting to have some fun and be spontaneous with words and actions. People will want to socialise and be entertained. Choosing the right words and using good manners, charm can make you influential, especially in romantic matters. All in all, this is a good energy to go after what you want. Negatively, people can use mind games and be insincere with their words and actions. The key word for this period is doing or saying the right thing. When the planet of communication and intellect and the planet of love, tenderness and inner values, desires come together, this is good energy for creative projects. So if you write, draw, entertain, you may do well during this transit in any research, curation or performance you give. The Sun also makes a Sesquiquadrate to Saturn, supporting that hard work, patience and focus can pay off. Still, there can also be communication delays, conflicts with authority or abuses of power. At worst, some of you may experience frustrations with getting your point across. Mercury makes a trine to Pluto, which backs up that there can be harsh words and actions. Still, the ability to get to the bottom of things, have sharp judgment and engage in critical thinking is given. Mercury's trine to Pluto also backs persuasive energy of Mercury conjunct Venus, doubling the power of the ability to convince others, so it's good for types of writing, selling and marketing. Moon days 1 and 2 are called a day of light, so it's essential you don't jump to any conclusions and learn from your current experiences. Analysis will stop you from taking unnecessary risks, so yeah, think before you react, and act is the key theme of the day. On the 27th of September, The moon void of course starts at 4:45. Then the moon moves into the constellation of Libra at 1:48. And moon being void of course just simply means that the moon isn't making any major aspect, conjunction, opposition with any of the luminaries, so the sun or the planets. So yeah. When the moon enters Libra, the best use of this energy is to work with others, compromising to find solutions to problems, or simply getting work completed quicker by working in teams. Also perfect time to resolve legal and partnership matters. If you are an artist or otherwise creative, if you remain calm, rational and focus on practicalities, then you can keep on going and produce some good work under this energy. Although it may be a good idea to put off important matters until later if you can't keep a level head, so if you can't be calm. Also, this energy allows you to appreciate things such as music, beauty and nature more, making your close ones feel more appreciated by saying words of affirmation to them, cooking, taking them out or giving them a gift. It's just some of the ways how you can make them feel appreciated. People may be more interested in psychological and emotional issues than in socializing right now. So some people may just want some time out rather than being with each other. It's good for date nights, being intimate, being honest, having those discussions that can be hard in relationships, so you can have each other's piece of views. And the Libra energy allows for peaceful resolution if you're both open to it. And negatively, people can gossip more, causing more tension in relationships, acting more impolite and being insensitive to other people's feelings. Having a lack of understanding can cause issues in relationships. During the Libra moon, some people, as I said, may just prefer to be alone. So you may want to talk to your partner and they'll be like, no, I want to take some time out. Try not to take it personally. This is also a perfect time to drink more water, cleanse and look after your body. And when the moon is in Libra, it's good for planting colourful fruits and vegetables and plants that can make your home or garden or land look more colourful and beautiful and vibrant. It's also a perfect period to plant hard crops such as parsnips, celery, rue, water chestnut, ginger, potatoes and turmeric and things like that. Also, Venus makes a Sesquiquadrate to the moon's north node, giving a chance to begin new and exciting social, artistic and romantic relationships. And negatively, rudeness can cause tensions in relationships. So again, this energy supports the Libra moon of either coming together with people to work in teams or advocating that need, well not that need, just that drive for tension and conflict may be unavoidable due to Venus, which also rules Libra, making a Sesquiquadrate to the moon's north node. Although it's a sort of energy and you'll feel it more if you've got strong north node or Venus, Libra or Taurus placements, 2nd and 7th house placements in your birth chart. So yeah, that's the 27th of September. On the 28th of September, the moon enters Via Combusta at 16:33. This runs from the 15th degrees of Libra to the 15th degree of Scorpio. Remember that each zodiac sign is split into 30 degrees, so times 12 is 360 degrees in the zodiac total. Via Combusta runs between Libra and Scorpio. So when the moon is in the fiery way, Via Combusta, some astrologers think it's best to delay things, but I see it as a perfect energy to work through your emotions and any problems as well. You can use this time to dig deep into your feelings, into your thoughts, in having a deep penetrating look into your problems, and hopefully you can become aware of any self-destructive thought patterns, behaviour patterns or relationships that stop you from feeling the fullness of life. It's an excellent time to explore any matter that requires you to dig deep and that you typically numb yourself to or run from. Yeah, it won't be all a bed of roses, it won't be easy having difficult conversations or listening to your thoughts and being aware and admitting to yourself that you have issues that need to be dealt with. Nevertheless, you can get out of the darkness if you open yourself up to self-exploration and facing your problems. Also today, Mars is trine to Saturn gives the ability to work long hours, powerful transit that allows for endurance, working without complaining or feeling like you're missing out, allowing for disciplined thought and action. The energy is given for you to follow through and complete a project or situation. Mars makes a trine to Saturn today, which gives the ability to work long hours. Powerful transit gives endurance, so you can carry on working for long hours without complaining or feeling like you're missing out. Allowing for long periods of disciplined thought and action. The energy is given to follow through on complete a project or resolve conflict successfully. So if you want, you can avoid distractions and gain the resilience needed to not become disheartened if other people tell you you cannot achieve your ambitions. You can get the desired results with devotion and becoming more passionate about the things that have meaning. There can also be an increase in sexual and creative energy. On the 29th of September, the moon starts void course at 9:58 am and enters its crescent moon phase at 2:01 p.m. GMT time. So in astrology, the crescent moon, the waxing moon, it's also known as that, is about starting to take slow and steady action in working towards your goals. If you vow to start or continue healthy eating, exercising or any other routine, this energy helps you refocus, reevaluate. Now is also the time to begin your research. If you lack any information that will help you reach your ambitions, now is the time to seek out advice and just to get your head down. This energy gives you courage, allowing you to take a leap of faith, supporting networking or asking for help from those in authority. Now is the time to build a solid foundation which ensures your future success. So yeah, the moon enters Scorpio at 6:55. So when the moon is in Scorpio, people can become more diligent, more aware, and make a practical effort to improve their home environment. This is incredible energy to look after your financial and emotional life, pay bills and ensure your life and other insurance policies are up to date. Study scientific, technological, occult, philosophical, intellectual subjects and practice self-discipline and mood control. If you constantly use the Scorpio moon vibration, you can complete the things you put your willpower to, doing the work to improve your physical or inner, emotional, spiritual and psychological home, as well as your home environment, external home environment. So talking about the things that you need to talk about is also good now if you can remain calm. Sorting out your finances now, as I said, will bring extra rewards in the long term. Negatively, past emotional resentments and conflicts involving money may cause problems in relationships and you may wish to avoid these confrontations. Still, you may be forced to deal with them even if you want to avoid them. So it's best to admit any wrongdoing and try and forgive others and yourself, which may be hard to do because, sometimes Scorpio energy can make us want to take revenge and hold grudges and stuff and be pig-headed and just want to be like, my opinion's right, your opinion's wrong. But just try and chill out, which can be hard because this can make moods change and be impulsive as well. And although it can be hard to forgive, remember people can't change what they've done in the past. And we can live it repeatedly in our minds, keep on talking about it, make our households and environments horrible to live in and stuff, which just blocks the new directions we could be walking towards if we just try and let go a little. And let go of any ideas of jealous or vengeful behaviour, which can happen because people can be intent on repaying what they see as past wrongs. But try and let go, again, can be hard. People also under the Scorpio moon energy can become secretive in their behaviours, which can further the tension in close relationships, rising suspicions and people just thinking the worst, and the worst could be happening. So if this is you and you uncover a secret, look after yourself first of all. but it will have to be dealt with. Esoterically, the best use of this energy is to look after your sexual and emotional health. If you find it hard to express your emotions, writing them down, recording them, voice noting them, if you have to let someone know how you feel, if it's just for you, writing them can help you understand your inner emotions more. Some of you may feel like your creative and vital energies are blocked, so get as much rest as possible. It's essential to recharge those batteries. Some of you may have all these emotions you want to get out, but you don't know how. Screaming may be the best way and the only way to release pent-up anger. Some of you may, punch the air and do stuff like that. So do anything you can within reasons without harming anyone else, because I'm not promoting the destructive side of the Scorpio energy, to release any anger you have. Lack of money may also bring you added stress, but it's imperative to consider what you can do with what you have rather than focus on what you lack. It may take longer to reach your goals due to the lack of adequate resources, but if you're willing, you will eventually get there. Although you may be tempted to start new things, it's best to use the moon in Scorpio to finish up old business and projects and resolve old arguments. For gardeners out there, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's a decent time to plant hard crops and vines, such as pole beans, corn, cucumbers, pumpkins, tomatoes, squashes, melons and courgettes. Moon day 4 and 5 can generate mood swings, and with the moon being in Scorpio as it is, it amplifies this energy. So as I said, just be alert for that. Try and walk away if that's all you can do. Pick your battles wisely. The energy of the moon supports the healing and improvement of in communications in personal, social and business connections. Avoid strange situations and financial transactions, and focus on the things that are productive and not the things that drain your energy and resources. On the 30th of September, the moon leaves Via Combusta at 8:57. Mercury opposes Neptune and can make people more imaginative, helping you find creative and beneficial solutions to your problems. Great energy for those involved in artistic expression or entertainment. Negatively, people can say one thing and mean the other. Finessing, lying and manipulating to get the outcomes they want. So checking the facts before you sign anything is beneficial. Avoid taking advantage of others, as this can bring negative consequences in the long run, although you may get away with it in the short term. You may feel like you can take on the world right now, and this can be possible, but only if you make a plan and commit to overcome the challenges you will face in reaching your goals, getting back up after each failure. Unrealistic ideas will not hold water, i.e. pay off in the long run without practical thought and action. If you want to succeed, you have to pay the cost, which is intense focus and determination, being committed to taking personal responsibility to be the main character, CEO of your own life, sacrificing entertainment time and other things to focus on your goals. Moon day 5 and 6 is a time to overcome your doubts and indecision by getting real. You have to be present and try and be as present as you can, conscious, by using your logical mind and doing all you can to think about what you are doing when you are doing it, because the Neptune energy can make you try and float off and be idealistic or get distracted in entertainment or hookups or watching porn or taking too much drugs and stuff. Whatever you eat and drink today can affect your ability to be alert and be productive, so choose what you do and who you do it with carefully. Today is a day of water, so there can be rapid change in mood, so vibe check yourself throughout the day, paying attention to your psychological and emotional needs, and just doing some positive self-care and just nurturing yourself and trying to be as supportive as you can to others. On the 1st of October, the moon void of course starts at 4:02 p.m. The moon also goes out of bounds. Out of bound planets in astrology, planets and luminaries are quite out of bounds when their declination is greater than 23.27 degrees. When planets or luminaries, the sun and moon, are out of bounds, this can enchant creative thinking and self-expression. Declination in astrology is when the celestial equator, which is the terrestrial equator, extends into space projected against the background of the stars. And the moon out of bounds can last for up to 2 to 4 days and can make you feel inspired to break out of conformity, seeing past the veils of society, traditions and laws, or helping others to do so, increasing your emotional intelligence and intuitive insight. You can have some dreams or visions or ideas. Someone can talk to you and give you a way forward that gives you the ability to understand yourself and others on a deep level. But it's essential to learn to guide yourself and others in the right ways, because the moon out of bounds can lead us to harming others by just not caring about the rules at all. So time spent in self-reflection and listening for the answers, you will find the correct solutions to your problems. Some of you do some meditation, listen to music, do some drawing or anything else that gets you into that relaxed mind zone, and this can bring some out of the box solutions or ideas to you. Still, the guidance given may be hard to follow, because a lot of the times we know what we want to do. We need to leave that relationship or leave that career or stop this destructive addiction or habits we have, and it can be hard because habits are hard to get out of. So the advice that's given to you by your own inner guidance or someone else may be hard, as I said, to follow, as you may be shown to walk a path that isolates you from all you know, or leave a situation that no longer serves you, but you still want to be in it. And as I said, it's hard to let go. Nevertheless, some of you, especially those born with planets out of bounds or with strong Uranus, Scorpio, Pluto, Pisces, 11th, 8th and 12th house energy, may choose to leave the community and values you were born into for what you view as a higher calling. As long as you are relatively thinking clearly right now is the time to trust your gut feelings. Negatively, out of bound moon can cause abnormal thoughts and behaviour patterns. Some people may become cold-hearted, destructive and criminal or unethical in their actions. So yeah, also on the 1st of October, the moon enters the constellation of Sagittarius. So 10:42 p.m. So when the moon moves into the constellation of Sagittarius, you may pay attention more to politics, finances or cultural activities, especially if they directly affect you or your home life. There can be an increase in taking trips with family or friends to higher places of learning or religious institutions or spiritual or any other places you may go with your family that have some deep significance to you guys. People may become more outspoken, honest and ethical and direct than usual. So this energy can counteract the adverse effects of the outer bones moons, and things can become more peaceful relationships if you open yourself up to this energy. The Sagittarius moon can make people want more freedom, which again, out of bone moons want you to let go of things. This may cause disturbances in committed relationships. Negatively, people can have disagreements or over opinions and ways of life. My way of life is better than yours and all the rest of it. There can also be legal or other serious problems due to belief systems or anything else, financial transactions, and people can deceive others or fraudulently get what they want through professional means. So it's vital that you double check all paperwork and do your own research, especially with new people, even with old people, because sometimes circumstances can make people who you trust do really wrong things to you. So yeah, the best use of the energy of the moon in Sagittarius is to focus on your education, belief system and personal development. Taking your time to ask yourself, do I really still believe in what I think I believe in? Do some reading, expand your intellect or consciousness. You may benefit from seeking out spiritual, religious, psychological, philosophical or some other form of guidance. Looking over legal documents and resolving conflicts is a good use of this transit, and planning long journeys. When the moon travels through the constellation of Sagittarius, it's a good time for those involved in farming or gardening to sprout seeds, harvest, store bulbs and roots, plant or cultivate bulb or fruit plants, and general groundworking is favoured under this moon. The moonlight will also boost the growth of leaves and the planting of legumes, so lentils, peas, beans, cucurbits such as cucumber, courgette, squash, melons, tomatoes and peppers, and also mowing the lawn. Additionally, Venus makes an opposition to Jupiter today. Some of you may decide to party too much, which can affect the stability of your relationships and productivity. People can become more sensual, wanting to eat and drink, and maybe make love or hook up more. Lies can be told in intimate connections, and this can cause emotional outbursts and unexpected events. Arguments over differences in opinion can cause tension. Venus also makes a Sesquiquadrate to Saturn, and this aspect can make people fall in and out of love, lust, quickly being attracted to the surface without checking the depth, which can cause disappointment. Nevertheless, this Venus Sesquiquadrate to Saturn allows people to use their willpower to avoid distress and distraction, keeping their emotions in order so they can concentrate on reaching their goals and other responsibilities. So yeah, that's the weekly forecast from the 25th of September right up until the 1st of October. Thanks for listening. Take care.